We're back for daily NBA best bets here on the channel for Monday, December 1st. We've got about 10 games today in the association, and obviously we found our 5 best bets for the slate. Folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA best bets here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our college basketball best bets, so make sure to go check those out. Again, those will be linked in the description down below. And later today, we're going to have our college football conference championships predictions, I guess if you want to call it week 15. Those are going to be out later today on the channel, so go make sure to check that out again at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And on Greedo Plays MMA this week, we are back with our UFC 323 predictions. The main event, Merab Dvalishvili taking on Piotr Yan for the Bantamweight Championship. It's the rematch. And later today on Greedo Plays MMA, our PFL MENA predictions as well. So go make sure to check out those videos on Greedo Plays MMA if you have not yet. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets today for the NBA as we start things off with a spread play. Okay, here they come again, the Milwaukee Bucks. It is a it's a hate and hate relationship with the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't want to pick this team, but unfortunately, guys, I think we have to pick them. When I considered the entire slate today, and it was either this or Pacers plus 5.5 against Cleveland at home. Yeah, unfortunately, I decided to go with Milwaukee instead of Indiana. And I don't think that's a hot take. I get the Pacers have won 2 in a row. I'm going to go with the Bucks spread instead. If they can't beat the Washington Wizards by 10 points, I don't know what to say about this team. Guys, the Bucks, are coming off a blowout win. I don't know who's worse, Bucks or Wizards. Actually, no, I know who's worse. It's the Wizards. The Wizards just played the Nets like a week and a half ago, and the Nets went out there and beat them by 23 points in DC. So the worst team in the East is the Washington Wizards. They lost to the Pacers, too, by 30. Yeah, this is the worst team in the Eastern Conference. So if the Milwaukee Bucks can't beat these guys by double digits, I don't know what to say. Guys, the Wizards are the worst team in the NBA. They're worse than the Pels. They're worse than the Clippers. They're worse than the Kings. How about the Grizz yesterday, by the way? But still, the Wizards are the worst. They lost by 30 to the Nets on their own home court. 20. Still, taking Milwaukee via the blowout tonight. This should be a blowout game. Now, Giannis Antetokounmpo's status is up in the air, but it seems like Antetokounmpo is going to play. The official designation for the potential miss, he's going to play. But it was injury management for Antetokounmpo, but he is now showing as probable for this game against Washington. Great. Everyone's playing for the Bucks. Why wouldn't they go out here and dominate Washington? A Wizards team who, by the way, the one time we picked against Washington all year long, because I never touched these spreads because it's Washington. Whenever we do pick Washington games, I actually have picked the Wizards. Of course, the one time we picked against them, though, is when they played the Atlanta Hawks. And they found a way to not just, cover the spread against the Hawks at home, they won. And CJ McCollum dropped 46 points. I don't understand the NBA sometimes. And by the way, what does McCollum do the game after? So we picked the Hawks to cover. And what does McCollum do the next game against Indiana? He scores 11. A Pacers team who's actively trying to lose and actively trying to tank and just waiting for next season when Halliburton's back. And the Wizards lost by 30 points to the Pacers. This team's awful. They're not like, they're going to set the loss record awful. I completely understand that. They're just playing horrible basketball. Corey Kispert's out. That's a rotational guy who plays quite a bit for them. Alex Sarr potentially might not play today. Sarr's been their best guy all year long by far. I think Sarr quietly is having a really good year, and nobody's paying attention to it. Well, because he plays in Washington, and nobody gives a rat's ass about what the Wizards are doing right now. I mean, hell, look at their ticket prices if you really want to see how much people care. Yeah, you can pay $5 to go watch the Bucks and watch Giannis tonight, and probably sit in a very good seat at that as well. The Wizards, they're a weird squad because they are still playing these veterans, but they can't win. Again, Sarr's been good this year. They've seen improvement in Keyshawn George, but yet they still play CJ McCollum. They still play Chris Middleton. I don't understand this team. And most of their losses aren't close games, except for the Chicago Bulls, where they took the Bulls to the wire in Chicago. Yet again, the Bulls found a way to win. Chicago's going through a really rough stretch. I don't know. The Bulls need to decide really quickly what they want to be this season, and we'll get to them later in the video. But Washington is 2-16. Their only wins all year long are a 19-point win against the team I think is still going to win the East in the Atlanta Hawks, and then a 10-point victory on the road in Dallas against the Mavericks. Other than that, they've lost every other game this year, and most of their losses, again, aren't close. 30-point loss to the Pacers. Chicago loss is close. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Raptors losses by 30 points. Minnesota losses by double digits. It's double digits is by 11. 23-point loss to the Brooklyn Nets at home. In Washington, they lose by 20. Detroit game went into overtime somehow. 6-point loss to Dallas. They suck. 30-point loss to the Cavs. 30-point loss to the Celtics, 17-point loss to the Knicks, 20-point loss to the Magic, 20-point loss to the Thunder. Need I go on? 30-point loss to the Charlotte Hornets. Worst team in the NBA. Would Milwaukee be in that same territory of worst team in the league? Oh, they're awful if it was not for Giannis? 100%, okay? If Antetokounmpo is not on the Bucks, and that's why he should leave Milwaukee, but whatever. If he was not on this team, they would be right. We'd be in the same conversation about the Bucks and the Wizards. Yes, Ryan Rollins has stepped up this year. They're now starting both Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr., essentially playing Rollins the 2 guard right now. Miles Turner, I don't care. Oh, some nights he looks really good. He sucks at basketball. He's ruined his career by going to Milwaukee. He's going to suck. Well, no, his career is already on the downwards trend anyways. But, this can all still be saved, by the way, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. One man can still save this team alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. It can be a dynamic duo in Milwaukee. Victor Oladipo. I'm just saying. There's a chance. There's a chance. There is hope. Victor Oladipo's out here scoring, posting triple doubles in the G League for the Bucks, for the Herd. 23-point nights for Victor Oladipo. Call him up immediately. And then I won't hate on the Bucks anymore. I've said that before. Give me Milwaukee that to cover 9.5 points. If they can't do this, I don't know what, are you a functional basketball team if you have Giannis and you can't cover 9.5 against Washington? I mean, they seriously need to reevaluate some things with Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers and company if they can't cover 9.5 in Washington. Yeah, give me the Bucks. Next up, we move on to our second best bet of the video. Our first player prop of the day is LaMelo Ball, under 19.5 points. Do we need to talk about what's going on in Charlotte right now? They won yesterday. Somehow they beat the Raptors. Again, make it make sense sometimes with the NBA. But do we need to talk about what's going on with the Hornets? Basically, LaMelo Ball doesn't play overtime last night. LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. They don't play overtime yesterday for the Hornets. Neither of them played particularly well in regulation, but then instead, I believe they went Sexton and Sion James in overtime over LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller with the other starters and Miles Bridges, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Con Knuppel. Yikes. And we know, again, the LaMelo Ball era is quickly ending. It's, there was the rumor that LaMelo disputed that he wanted out. I still think it's the truth. Why would that rumor be a thing? Well, maybe because, people want to see Melo outside of Charlotte, but I think Melo's time is extremely limited right now in Charlotte. And I think the Hornets kind of know that as well. I think they're going to trade him this season, probably at the deadline, to a team who's going to act like they're contending. Why did I say that? Because I believe the Los Angeles Clippers are going to try to get LaMelo Ball, even though they're probably going to be in the 11th spot. And Steve Ballmer's going to say, oh, well, hold on. We're going to still try to win this year. Hold on. We don't have our picks. So honestly, I would probably do the same thing if I were them. But what would you offer Charlotte is the problem. Anyways, though, I believe LaMelo Ball's almost done in Charlotte. And you can really see that by the way he's playing. He's not playing good basketball. He's not putting up as many shots. His shots look flatter from what I've seen. It's just, I don't know. He's not playing good basketball. He's shooting the ball. His 3-point ball right now is at a 22% in the month. Or I guess last month in November. But on Saturday against the Raptors, again, he doesn't play overtime. He plays 22 minutes because they sit him in big rotational spots and big stretches of that game because they rather play Colin Sexton. They like Sexton more. I don't know. I can't get excited for. I've never been excited about this Hornets team, but I can't go with, I have to go with the under here for LaMelo Ball. The line is 19.5 tonight. Guys, Melo's gone over this line in every game in the month of November except for one. Sure, there was an injury involved, obviously, with LaMelo Ball where he missed like a week and a half, but here, I'll detail every single game in the month so far from LaMelo. He's only gone over this line once, and oh, by the way, yeah, that was over by 0.5 points. So let's look at November 1st against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, game of the injury, 18 points, 33 minutes. Okay, comes back from the injury in Milwaukee, plays 27 minutes, scores 16 points. Then against the Raptors on the road, 28 minutes, 20 points. That's the one game he goes over. Pacers, 18 points, 27 minutes. Clippers, 25 minutes, 18 points. Knicks, 27 minutes, 11 points. Bulls, 29 minutes, 16 points. And last game, obviously, second night of a back-to-back, sure, but 22 minutes and 14 points against the Toronto Raptors. I hate the fact he's not playing at the end of the game. And the fact that, he's shooting very poorly. Look at these 3-point lines. The entire month, 2 for 8, 2 for 6, 1 for 7, 2 for 11, 1 for 7, 2 for 7, 3 for 10, 1 for 6. He's not shooting the ball well. If you're not shooting the ball well, and Melo, sure, again, can still be a decent playmaker, obviously, for the Hornets, but if he's not shooting well, and you got guys who, I don't want to say Knupple's better than LaMelo Ball right now, but Knupple's doing a lot for Charlotte. He's been very good and very surprising. He's averaging 18 points per game. Can you make the argument Knupple's better right now for the Hornets than LaMelo Ball? Not saying he's a better all-around player, but right now is Knuckle a better player for Charlotte than LaMelo? That's not too far-fetched to say. Miles Bridges has been really good. Bridges is averaging 20 plus. He's been great. Debate's been really good off the bench. Kalk Brenner's been good in a starting role. But Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball have not played well this season. And I understand both of those guys have dealt with injuries. But ultimately, we're looking at LaMelo Ball now, who's averaging 19.5 points per game. But specifically in the month of November, he's averaged 16. He averaged 25 in the month of October, now 16 points in the month of November. Sure, minutes are down. Obviously, they're trying to, deal with the injury some. But at the same time, obviously, they don't really see Melo as part of their future with, again, that report that came out. And I understand, again, Ball immediately shut that down. So, no, I'm perfectly fine in Charlotte. Is anyone fine in Charlotte? Does anyone want to play for the Charlotte Hornets? I don't think so, okay? I get it. The Hornets are building for a future. Does anyone realistically expect the Charlotte Hornets to even be in the playoffs in the next 5 seasons? That's kind of crazy. Do we expect Charlotte Hornets to win a playoff series in the next 5 seasons? If you honestly think that, tell me why, because I don't think so. So, LaMelo's on his way out. The Hornets know it. LaMelo knows it. And that is kind of hurting his play. And I do think as well, Charlotte's going to, obviously he's going to keep starting. But I think Charlotte's going to step back a little bit on the minutes with Ball and just say, okay, hold on. We can't get you injured. If you get injured, that screws up your trade value. And, we need to move you eventually. Because also, we found our new point guard. His name's Knuckle. I'm going with LaMelo Ball. Knuckle plays the 2, but still, he could play the 1. No, he's a 2 guard. They just need to find, Sexton, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, Sexton's not the future in Charlotte. You know what I mean, though? Melo, I think his days are limited. I'm going to go LaMelo Ball tonight under 19.5 points at home. Sorry, on the road for the Hornets. They are playing the Brooklyn Nets, but still, I'm taking under tonight for Ball. This isn't about, who they're playing. It's about performance and individual performance for Ball, and it has not been that high. So give me the under on Ball, 19.5 points. On to our third best bet of the video as we go to a spread play here down in South Beach, Miami, Florida. We have -6.5 tonight for the Miami Heat to win and cover against the Los Angeles Clippers. This becomes a nightly occurrence at this point, but I think it's a really good, strategy to go with right now. Pick against the Hornets. Not the Hornets, the Clippers. Keep picking against them. They suck. They're horrible. Guys, this is a thing where, and I'm doing this with 2 teams right now, and eventually, again, obviously, these are professional basketball players. Eventually, they're going to win games, and eventually, we're going to be on the wrong side of a Clippers bet, and with this other team, I'm going to say the Sacramento Kings. But recently, whenever I've been seeing Kings or Clippers, especially I've been watching the live betting markets for these games. I don't like to live bet, but especially on the Clippers and Kings, these are the 2 teams I watch out for. They are so bad in the second half. If you can get their opponents at plus money in a competitive game, no matter who they are playing, absolutely take it, because there's a very good chance both the Clippers and the Kings, who both play in the Pacific Division, obviously in the Western Conference, are going to blow those leads. Now, again, this is not a spot where we're going to play money line, obviously. I don't think, it's basketball. Obviously, there's a chance the Clippers could be up in the second half. But if you ever see Miami at plus money in the second half and they're within the 6 to 7 point margin, go and take the Heat at plus money. The Clippers are not winning this game. They're going cross country all the way from California to Miami, Florida here. This team's awful. They're 5-15, yet to make the playoffs betting wise. I think they're only plus 105 still to make the playoffs. Because I think everyone just expects, the Clippers kind of have to figure it out, especially in the West, because look how bad the West is. Or I think it might be to make the play in, they're plus 105. I don't even see that. No, I think it's the playoffs in general is plus 105. I don't even think they're going to make the play in. They're going to be a straight lotto team, and they're going to get their pick. Oh, never mind. Let's go into the Oklahoma City Thunder. Paul George trade, man. What a great trade it was. And I understand, if they don't make that trade, they don't get Kawhi. Well, look how much winning that got him. Imagine if this team had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and all of those picks. Yikes. Anyways, the Clippers go cross-country to take on the Heat. I think the Heat win and cover, guys. Miami was on a huge winning streak before they just lost to the Detroit Pistons in Miami. But the Heat were on a 6-game winning streak, beating New York, the Warriors, Bulls, Sixers, Mavericks, and Bucks, before again losing to the number 1 seed currently in the Eastern Conference and the 16-4 Detroit Pistons. Miami was playing really good basketball. They have gotten Tyler Hero back. Hero's playing well. Norman Powell's playing well. Andrew Wiggins will have his nights. And obviously Bam Adebayo, still a very dominant 5, obviously, for the Miami Heat. They're playing really good basketball this season. Still, they're 13-7, currently 4th in the Eastern Conference. It's a team that you can still rely on to beat up on a bad Clippers team, right? And we're going to be tracking the Clippers, obviously, throughout this road trip. They go to Miami, they go to Atlanta, Memphis, Minnesota. They will not be favored in any one of these games. They go to Houston as well. They're not going to be favored in a single game on this road trip. And legitimately, I think it's time we start saying, I think the Clippers are straight bottom feeders. Kawhi is playing his ass off, right? Kawhi's come back from injury. He dropped 39 points against Memphis, 30 points against Dallas, but Harden has disappeared since Kawhi's came back. I mean, yeah, I guess he did score 29 points in the Dallas game. Guys, 17 of those come from the free throw line. Harden's still got an elite whistle. He gets the free throw line like it's nobody's business. So obviously he's still going to, you look at his final point total. Oh, wow, he scores 29. He shot 2 for 6 from the three-point line against Dallas and 5 for 17 from the field. And sure, it took a great effort, a Herculean type effort is what I'm looking for. Herculean type effort out of Klay Thompson and Cooper Flagg for the Mavericks to beat the Clippers, but it's just the Clippers find ways to lose. And that's at home. Now let's look at them here on the road. I mean, the Clippers have won 5 games all year long. They beat Charlotte. They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Blazers. They beat the Suns. I'm missing the other victory. Who was it? Did I say Dallas already? It is what it is. I don't think they're going to go to Miami and win. And I don't think this game is going to be close. Yeah, Kawhi's been playing better basketball. Leonard is playing tonight. Bogdanovic, if I'm not mistaken, is still out. Yes, they've ruled Bogdanovic out. We know Bradley Beal's out for the season. We know Derrick Jones is out for an extended period of time. But Miami is fully healthy. We were waiting for the Tyler Hero debut for quite a bit. He's obviously playing now. I think Jaquez might be questionable tonight. He is with a groin injury. And obviously, Terry Rozier is Mr. Gambler. But regardless, right, the Heat are in a very good spot to blow out the Clippers tonight. And it's just the problem is that it's a roster construction problem too with the Clippers. Everyone's old. Everyone's old, and you don't play any young guys except for Kobe Sanders. And Sanders is not a particularly young rookie. I mean, again, he's young compared to the rest of the team, but he's 23. He was a 5-year college player, which is fine. Again, I mean, you'll take that youth, and that athleticism out of Kobe Sanders, and he's been good in spots. They should honestly use him more. But as of late, they've really cut back on the Kobe Sanders minutes with Kawhi back. So you just replace, and sure, you need Kawhi to play, obviously, but why can't you keep Sanders in the rotation? You got to play Batum, you got to play Chris Paul. Now Paul is kind of taking the Kobe Sanders minutes. Guys, they're a mess. It's an old-ass team. They're not going to go to Miami, and they're not going to play a competitive game. All right, the Heat should be able to blow them out. If you ever see the Heat money line at plus money, unless it's like, they're down by 15 points, take Miami. They will find a way to win the basketball game, and they will cover at the same exact time too. I know that, a lot of their win streak was built upon competitive games. The Clippers, though, are not a competitive basketball team. It's only how far can Harden and Kawhi take them. Still, I think Miami's too much for them. I'm going with Heat spread tonight from South Beach, -6.5 for the Miami Heat to cover at home against the Los Angeles Clippers. On now to our 4th best bet of the video, and we move. Oh, that's okay. You know what? It's fine. We'll do this now. It's not the right order. We'll go back to our other game at 4 o'clock, so we'll end the video with the player prop. We'll just do this now. I clicked on the wrong graphic. It's okay. This is the nightcap game, and it'll be out of order, but it's okay. On NBC / is this game only on Peacock? Are we dead ass? Why? Why do they do this crap? On Peacock, the Los Angeles Lakers take on the Phoenix Suns. I'm going with the Los Angeles Lakers to win and cover the 5.5 points as well. I keep saying that the Lakers are on a run, and I know yesterday it looked very good for the spread until it didn't. The Lakers dominate the first half. They go into halftime up 20 points on the New Orleans Pelicans, and we're sitting fine thinking they're going to cover the 14.5 point spread, and unfortunately they don't, as New Orleans actually outscores Los Angeles in the second half, outscoring the Lakers by 8 points and cutting the deficit to only 12. Obviously, Lakers still win. They were not concerned about the final score of that game, and we didn't know at the time, but we kind of knew LeBron wasn't going to play. And obviously, New Orleans played nobody. No Jordan Poole, no Zion Williamson, no Trey Murphy. It was a ghost town yesterday for the New Orleans Pelicans in their effort to try to play the Lakers, and obviously, Los Angeles dominated the game. But they did not cover. Okay. This is a game that they're actually going to get up for, though. And sure, again, they scored 46 points in the first quarter yesterday against the Pelicans, but they slowly allowed the Pels to just hold on and just stay in the game with them. This is a game where I expect, full fire for Los Angeles. LeBron James is playing, and we saw this yesterday, and I predicted it accurately. I said, okay, back-to-back for the Lakers. LeBron is, on injury management still / the foot injury. He probably is not going to play because they're going to want him for the Phoenix game because obviously that's the way more competitive game. And if you look ahead for the schedule, they don't play again until Thursday in Toronto. So they play LeBron on Monday, and then he still gets 2 nights, still full 2 nights off before the Toronto game. And honestly, he probably won't even play that one because they have a back-to-back right after that against Boston. And you much rather Bron play in Boston than he plays in Toronto just because, it's LeBron in Boston, and that game's on Amazon Prime. And, Prime paid a lot for that game. Obviously, Lakers-Celtics rivalry. Obviously, it's not as big of a rivalry as it once was, but you get what I'm going for there. Still, though, we knew LeBron probably wasn't going to play yesterday, and he doesn't, so now Bron's playing against the Suns. And I understand LeBron James, statistically speaking, might not be scoring the most points anymore, but Bron is still a very good player and still an all-star caliber player for Los Angeles, too. And, I'm talking about LeBron James. You got to talk about Austin Reeves. You got to talk about Luka Doncic. I mean, Luka's putting up absurd stats. I still think, again, I will tell you this, I believe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player in the NBA. I believe the best scorer in the National Basketball Association, though, is Luka Doncic. And what Luka is doing this year is absurd. 35, 8.5, and 9.5 for Luka Doncic. Oh my goodness. And Austin Reeves, guys, is now an all-NBA caliber player. 29 points a night for Austin Reeves. 29, 6, and 7 for Austin Reeves. The greatest undrafted player of all time, Austin Reeves. All-star this year, Austin Reeves. Man, oh man. DeAndre Ayton did come out of the game yesterday against New Orleans. Did not return. The official, diagnosis there is right knee soreness for dominating. Hope he plays tonight. I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's going to. It's the second night of a back-to-back. Probably won't play, especially because he left last night's game. It means we're going to see a lot of Jackson Hayes minutes. Oh, great. It's going to be fine. I think the Lakers can make up for it elsewhere, obviously. I mean, he's going to be going, obviously, one-on-one for the most part with Mark Williams. We'll see how the Lakers, help Jackson Hayes, and, JJ's going to go into his rotations where, Maxi Kleber at center. Hachimura, go guard him, I guess. We don't have DFS anymore to guard a center, so, go out there, Kleber. Go try to guard Oso Iguodaro. I don't think the Suns are going to make us pay that much because, yes, Mark Williams still lives, by cleaning up the glass. That's where he gets majority of his points. Obviously, it was just on putbacks and feeding him down low. The Suns are still a primary shooting team, and if they want to get into this type of shootout with the Lakers, I think the Lakers are prepared for it, especially being at home at Crypto. No longer can you just have a hot shooting night and beat Los Angeles because the Lakers are always having hot shooting nights. The Lakers are always having high scoring games because of the production out of Luka Doncic, because of the production out of Austin Reeves. It is just hard to go out there and just, they're on a heater. Now they can beat the Lakers. No, it doesn't work like that anymore. Especially, too, again, LeBron James is back tonight. And as well, they might get back a prominent bench piece in Marcus Smart. Smart did not play the Pelicans game due officially to a back injury. We shall see if Smart, who plays great defense and plays great rotational minutes for the Lakers, will be back tonight against the Phoenix Suns. On top of all of this, the Lakers are just better than Phoenix. It's, again, I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but it's very fun watching a Lakers team now, which every night I'm going to watch Luka drop 30 plus and Austin Reeves drop 30 plus. We're watching legitimately one of the best duos right now in the association, and Austin Reeves has proven, yes, it was the right move for the Lakers to keep him as untouchable, not move AR no matter what. And they found a way to keep Austin Reeves in a trade for Luka Doncic. It's still absurd. They did not have to trade AR for Luka. But I mean, the progression and the next step Reeves has taken this year is just crazy, man. He's averaging 28.5 points per game. I'm not joking when I say this is an all-NBA type player. This is 100% an all-star this year as well. It's crazy what Reeves is doing on the court. And now, again, LeBron James is being added back into the mix. I know LeBron's already played a couple games, but getting a fresh LeBron tonight against Phoenix, yeah, this works out for a tough matchup for the Suns. And I know, again, we have been on the wrong side of a lot of Suns outcomes. This team just played a home game against the Nuggets and lost by 18 points. The Lakers are better than the Nuggets. And I understand it's the NBA. You can't say that because, hell, Phoenix went to OKC and played a competitive game and needed, the Thunder needed to go down to the wire to win that game by 4 points. Again, the association is weird in terms of trying to compare results from other squads. Regardless of all that, though, Phoenix has not been on fire. They've lost 3 of 4, losing to Houston, losing to OKC, and losing to Denver. Those are all good teams, sure. Who as well as an elite team, the Los Angeles Lakers. And still on paper, I do believe Phoenix is overplaying or just outplaying what the roster actually has. They're starting Devin Booker, Grayson Allen's back, Dylan Brooks, Royce O'Neal, Mark Williams, playing Gillespie, Goodwin, Iguodala off the bench. I believe Ryan Dunn is still out tonight. Dunn's back. How convenient. Whatever. I know Jalen Green's still out of the lineup as well, but I mean, they're outplaying what they're projected to do this year. And eventually Phoenix is going to fall back into that, permanent play-in role, I think. I'm going to take Lakers to win and cover, -5.5 for Los Angeles at home against the Phoenix Suns with LeBron obviously back in the lineup. So the graphic I skipped earlier, here it is. Our second player prop of the day, meant to be earlier in the video, obviously, because I always go in, chronological order by the time of when the games are actually played. But here it is. I accidentally skipped it, or I just clicked on the Lakers one instead. Josh Giddey over PRA, it's at 37.5. And I completely understand the Chicago Bulls have been horrible over the last week. It's not because of Josh Giddey, though. You can't blame Giddey for how bad they have been. The Bulls tonight go play the first half of the Peacock doubleheader. Obviously, we already talked about the second half of the doubleheader with Phoenix and Los Angeles. The first half is in Orlando for the Chicago Bulls and the Orlando Magic. Last season, we would hate this, obviously. It would be a high-scoring team versus one of the better defensive teams in all of basketball. We've already been over the defensive metrics this year for the Orlando Magic. They are an average, actually slightly below average now defensive team in the NBA, which is a complete, just different mindset and culture that they have there. Partially has to do with the fact they got Desmond Bane and they want to go, high-scoring, high-paced all game now with, adding another really good scorer in the starting lineup like Bane. Anyways, though, it should be a high-scoring outcome. It should not be a game, again, where we're not going to play 2024 Orlando Magic basketball where, it's a shootout, it's a, low-scoring game, first team to score, 105 wins. Not really the case, right? We see Orlando now in these high-scoring games where you see teams get into the 130s, something that we never saw a single team last year all year long get to against the Magic. We see now pretty much on a weekly basis. So anyways, we can still expect big stats out of Josh Giddey, and the reason the Bulls are losing is not at all because of Giddey's performance. The Bulls have been bad, let's say. They've lost 4 or 5 to teams that they should be beating. Losing to Miami, I don't really care. Played a competitive game against the Wizards that they won, which, again, good win, but you should not be playing that tight of a game with Washington. And then 3 straight losses to the New Orleans Hornets, what am I, back in 2008? The New Orleans Pelicans, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Indiana Pacers. At the worst, you should have won 2 of 3. So maybe, again, we were getting too excited on the Bulls hype train. I was pushing this Bulls thing too much, but why? I mean, I had every reason to. They were 6-1 to start the year. They had a 30 or 25-plus point comeback to beat the Sixers to go to 6-1, and they then went on to lose 5 consecutive games to go to 6-6. I understand there was a Josh Giddey injury and all of there, but still in that thing. But they beat the Nuggets right after the losing streak. Oh man, that's at the end of the losing streak. Doesn't help the entire team's injured. Doesn't help that. With all due respect, Noah Essingay, is that how you say his name? The French dude? I believe he's French, right? The rookie, I understand he's the second youngest player in the NBA, just behind Cooper Flagg. Guys, Essingay might be the worst rookie in the draft class. I'm so serious. Dude, he's so bad. I'm sorry. He's played so horribly. I know, again, everyone knows him for just getting postered by Johnny Furphy in the Summer League and the crazy flick they get of him going, like this after getting postered. But, man, he is, oh, my goodness, he's awful. And it's a problem, too. It's like, I don't think the poster and going viral for the absolute worst reason helped that at all. He still hasn't scored a bucket yet in the NBA, albeit he hasn't played many minutes, but it doesn't help when, again, that guy you're sending, in between Windy City and the Bulls, and he's just he's not a big factor. Chicago doesn't play defense, we know that, but we just need Josh Giddey. Again, the reason they're losing is not because of Giddey. Giddey's still posting near triple-double numbers every single night. Giddey's currently averaging a double-double, averaging 21 and 10 with 9.5 assists in there as well. Look at the stat lines Giddey puts up. I mean, 17, 11, and 7 against the Pacers, 25, 11, and 9 against the Charlotte Hornets, right? He's right on track almost every single night for this PRA line. Again, when you average a triple-double, it's pretty easy to get that, obviously, when, we expect Giddey to likely score 20 points a game, right? And that's his average, right? So if Giddey posts a triple-double and he scores 20 points, 20-point triple-double, we're here easy. And we don't need him to exactly get 10 assists. We don't need him to exactly get 10 rebounds. We just need him to be in the range as long as he scores a little bit over 20 points, which is usually a nightly occurrence for Josh Giddey. And I know, again, some of his point totals do go down when Kobe White's in the lineup, because Kobe White's still not playing every single game because they're still trying to get his legs back with him, and he's not playing back-to-backs. But still, though, last 2 games for Josh Giddey, with and without Kobe White in the lineup, Giddey was still the leading scorer. He's still their best scorer. He's still the primary ball handler. Giddey's going to find ways for stats to go with him. Last game against Indiana, it was a losing performance, obviously, by 2 points for the Bulls. Giddey led the team in points. He led the team in rebounds. He led the team in assists. Albeit it was only 17, 11, and 7. But again, Giddey right now is the Chicago Bulls. And I'm taking Josh Giddey tonight to go over his PRA line of 37.5. Should be easy money for us tonight in what should be a high-scoring game against the Magic. I don't know if it goes too well for the Bulls, but whenever you count out Chicago, like in the Denver game, they find a way to get it done. So we shall see. I don't care who wins. I just need Josh Giddey to continue his all-star pace this year and go over 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Best Bets here on December 1st. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do just great thing in the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA Best Bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.